Hello and welcome to the fourth video in the design short series, and today I'll be walking you through textiles. So what a textile basically is, it is a combination of multiple properties of text that makes us define a type hierarchy and a typography for our designs. So what a typography is, it is basically a collection of multiple textiles. So before walking over to naming conventions, I would like to walk you through some basic properties and what fixed and open properties are. So whenever you define a textile, some properties are fixed while defining the textile and you cannot change them without altering the textile itself. Okay, so these properties are the font, the weight of the font, the size of the text, the line height, the character spacing and the case. So these are fixed in Figma. It might vary from software to software, alright. And the open properties are color, the alignment and the resizing. So this is a really good feature in Figma where the color is an open property. Otherwise you'd have to create multiple textiles for the same size or for the same instance for different colors, and it would increase the complexity by a large margin. Okay, so Figma has made it really easy by opening color, alignment and resizing options. Okay, so now let us move on to the naming convention. So whenever we name a textile, there has to be a convention followed. So the convention is followed of a file system. So whenever you open a file in your desktop, you might notice that they are separated by folders and they have a slash between them to separate them, that to denote basically which file is in which folder. Okay, so same goes with defining a textile. So whenever you define a textile, you can start it with text slash the weight of the font and then followed by the name. So what name refers to here is, if you move on to the type system site of Google or the type system page, you can see that they haven't given the textile names according to the size. They have given headline, headline 2, headline 3 and so on. Okay, and moving up till subtitle, body. So this convention is followed because say your headline size changes in the future, so you won't have to rename the textile, you only have to change the text size. Okay, and if you want to export typography, you can go over to code and export it, and also you can export it from here by downloading that Roboto type scale to get a hint of how textiles work. Alright, and you can also go over to various design systems. You can study Zomato's design system and their naming convention. So I found this naming convention really good and I follow this personally. Okay, and you can also go over to this site and see how other companies are doing it in their designs. Alright, I'll be leaving these links in the description so you can check them out. Okay, so now let's move on to naming one of our own textiles. Okay, so I have written these lines and I'll now be giving each of these a text style basically to consolidate these properties in one style. Okay, so this is size 48 text and weight is regular. Okay, so now to define a textile, I'll be going over to text and click on this menu and click on the plus icon, and now I'll be naming it to text slash, I think it was regular. No, I'll first have to add the name. So for example, so I follow the 100, 200, 300 system, so I'll be naming it say 800 for now and regular. Okay, and I click on create style. So once I've defined a text style, and if I want to give a line of text, a certain text style, I would simply go on to my text and I click on the text style that I want. Okay, so for now I'm giving it the textile that we just defined. Okay, now let us also name this as textile. So this is same text slash, the name was 800 and the weight is semi-bold. Okay, so now that I've done this, you can see that under text slash 800 I have two textiles, one is regular and one is semi-bold, so it is separating after 800. Okay, and now if I have to define this textile, I define it as text slash say 500 and the weight is medium. Okay, so now that I've defined it, I have it under text slash 500 and medium. Alright, and now if I were to apply it to any of the text that I have typed. Let me apply it to this. So this size is applied, so it was the same size as my new text style. So it has not changed in size and just has linked itself. And if you want to unlink any text style from any written text, you can simply click on this unlink icon here. Okay, you can detach the style. And let me show you how powerful this feature is, how powerful text styles are basically. So if you were to click on this text style and right click on it and edit it, so now if I increase the text size, it is increasing in all the instances that have this text style. And if I were to detach it from one of the instances, and now if I go on and edit this text style, it would only affect where the instance was, as you can see in the frame. Alright, so this is how you can define your text style, and wherever you want to attach a text style, you simply go onto your text, this menu, and give it whatever text style you want. And whenever you update this text style, it would be replicated in all of its instances. And if you don't want it to be replicated on any one of its instances, you can detach it. But it is recommended that every text that you type has a text style associated with it, so it has a common parent and you can edit it from one source only. Alright, and as you can see that the color is open, I can give it a different color, I can give it a different alignment by going on to this menu and giving it a different alignment and resizing option as well. Now let us move on to some plugins that you can use to organize your text styles and define a typography system. So these are some of the plugins basically that you can use to organize your typography and define text style system basically. Okay, so I'll be leaving down the links for these plugins in the description, so you can check them out. And yeah, this was it from this video, and in the next video I'll be moving on to color and color styles. Yes, thank you for watching and see you next time.